In this Extra Life video, we're going to be taking a look at the 7 Deadly Sins Origin, which is a new free-to-play open-world action RPG that is being developed by Netmarble, and they just released a brand new trailer at opening night live of Gamescom, so we're going to dive into that a little bit in this video. If you've never heard of the 7 Deadly Sins Origin before, you're not alone, but what it is it's a game based on the popular Japanese manga and anime The 7 Deadly Sins that reached 55 million sales globally, and the anime ran from 2014 to 2021 and has exactly 100 episodes. The game will feature its own original story, but it will keep the same voice actors and actresses from the popular anime series as well. Before we get into more specifics of this game though, a big shout out to Netmarble for sponsoring this video. If you guys like what you see in the video, you can click the link below to support the channel. The 7 Deadly Sins Origin takes place timeline-wise between the 7 Deadly Sins anime and the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse anime, which is a current anime series expecting its 3rd season later this year that takes place in the same universe. You will play as Tristan, the son of Meliodas and Elizabeth, the main characters from the previous 7 Deadly Sins. You'll explore the Britannia continent, where time and space are warped by the Book of Stars, a priceless pendant that records and connects untold timelines and contains limitless power. Players will form a team comprised of up to 4 heroes and can change characters depending on the situation, which means you will collect and acquire many different characters as you play through the game. Each character has a different combat style and can use 3 different weapon types, which changes the skills those characters can use. Tristan, for example, can use dual swords, a great sword, or a long sword, so he has those 3 different weapons he can use, and it changes the way some of his skills are used. If Tristan is equipped with dual swords, players will be able to attack more rapidly at high speed, whereas if Tristan is equipped with a great sword, he'll attack more slowly, but deal more damage per swing. And dual swords allow Tristan to do a move that drops a meteor from the sky, while the great sword enables him to use a move that attacks and pushes an enemy in a straight line. So the skill sets for the weapon types for those characters are a bit different, changing up the gameplay depending on what weapon type you're using. The 7 Deadly Sins Origin also features a combined attack mechanic, which you might expect from an anime-inspired game, since most anime-inspired games have something like this in them. And this happens when characters combine the effects of certain attacks, which results in spectacular over-the-top visuals that, are usually jaw-dropping, and usually add some new deadly effects to the skills that are being used by those characters. For example, if Hauser uses a tornado and Gilla fires flames, the result becomes a fiery tornado, and there are obviously much more combinations than this in the game, but this is just one example. Players will be able to take their party and face powerful bosses and unique dungeons that are tailored for each of the regions of the game. There are 4 regions that I'm aware of at this current time, although there may be more at the release of the game, and more are expected to be added later on, and these are the Kingdom of Lyonesse, the Fair King's Forest, Dragon's Grave, and Desert Ruins. These are all 4 very distinct different biomes that have different looks and feels to them. For instance, the Kingdom of Lyonesse is like a bustling kingdom with lots of people and housing and things like that, whereas the Desert Ruins is much more deserty and sparse and has less vegetation and things like that, so they look different. So the dungeons of the game are going to be based on these different locales, and again, I'm expecting more of these at the launch of the game and to be added post-launch. There will also be included in hidden secrets in the game, including hidden and secret dungeons. So some of the dungeons you might run across will be obvious, but other ones you might have to uncover through exploration. And as I mentioned earlier, the 7 Deadly Sins Origin is an open-world action RPG complete with adventures, exploration, and gathering mechanics that allow you to not only craft and cook, but you can gather and collect wood and ore, as well as catch underwater creatures via fishing. And the launch side of the game world is supposed to be roughly 30 square kilometers at the release of the game, with more being added over time. To give you some reference on how big that is, The Witcher 3 was 136 kilometers at the release of its main game, so it's about 1/4 the size or so of The Witcher 3. And players will be able to traverse freely across the game's biomes, as there are no restrictions on where you can go. You'll be able to explore caves, discover secrets, and of course defeat monsters and bosses. And each character also has a different adventure skill, or different skills. I don't know exactly how many they have, but these will allow them to complete quests and explore in various different ways. You may need to change heroes in order to accomplish some exploration elements. For example, you might be able to move objects with one character or jump extremely high with another one. There will also be mounts in the game that not only allow players to traverse the open world at greater speeds, but they will also allow the players to sail across open water and also fly around using the Manta Hawk. Additionally, you'll be able to explore underwater in the game's many bodies of water, and take part in mini-games when you want to mix it up and just take a break from exploration or combat. I don't know exactly how many mini-games or what they all are yet, so this is something I definitely want to find out more about, but they have promised that there will be these in the game. Another thing worth noting is that certain creatures of the game have different behaviors based on the time of day, because there is a day and night cycle in this game. So some of these creatures might be sleeping during the night, or they might be sleeping during the day, or maybe they don't even appear unless it's nighttime, like is the case with the forest moth. So you won't even be able to find the forest moth if it's not nighttime. And there will also be seasonal content planned that's supposed to be released over periods of time as production moves forward on this game post-release, that revolves around different seasons. So you can expect fall-themed things during the fall or winter-themed things during the winter, which will change how the game world looks and feels over time, trying to keep things fresh as you continue playing. If you've been wondering whether this is a solo game or cooperative play, you can play either solo or with friends or other members of the community, taking your group of 4 and teaming up with your friends or other members of the community to play with them. And what I find really interesting about this is that when you play online with other players, your whole team goes with you and their teams go with them, rather than parts of your team being replaced by other players. So if you're somebody who wants to be a little more self-reliant and be able to micromanage your healer and your tank yourself, you'll be able to do that in this game, which you might not be able to do in some other similar titles. And a note about PvP, if you're curious about that. It's my understanding that PvP is being tested by the development team. They're working on not only one-on-one battles, but other types of PvP content. But they have said that PvP is not the primary focus of the 7 Deadly Sins Origin, so it might be added in future patches post-launch, or it might be present at launch if they can get it completed by that time. They're just not 100% sure. They also stated that it might just be like some sort of seasonal events or events that are PvP events here and there, and it might not be a mainstay of the game as a whole. So we'll just have to see as time goes on which is the case. The 7 Deadly Sins Origin runs on Unreal Engine 5, which contributes to the stellar visuals of the title, and from what I've seen so far, performance doesn't seem to be an issue at the moment. This is likely because of the art style of the game, which is obviously less intensive than a realistic looking game that a lot of Unreal Engine 5 games are going for. But nonetheless, I don't know how the performance of this game is going to be on that engine. It can be stuttery sometimes, it can have performance issues sometimes. So I hope this is not an issue with this game. We'll just have to see more as we learn more about this title. When it comes to the monetization of this game, we do know that it's free to play. I asked Netmarble to provide information about it. Unfortunately, they were unable to do so when I asked them about it, but I am expecting this game to be kind of similar monetization-wise to other games that are similar to it. Hopefully we can get some more information on that soon, so I can give that to you guys. The 7 Deadly Sins Origin is set to release later this year on PC via Steam, so you can play on PC. It's going to be a timed console exclusive on PlayStation 5, so if you want to play on console, you'll be able to play on PlayStation 5. The developers have said that they are going to try and bring this to potentially Xbox and Nintendo Switch. I don't know if they're going to be able to accomplish that or what the timeline looks like for that, but they have said that that is a goal of theirs if things go well with the launch of this game. So if you're playing on those platforms, there is hope for you down the road. I just don't think that's going to be there at launch. Additionally, you can play the game on iOS and Android as well. So if you want to play on the go while you're on the train or you're waiting for somebody, you can do that. And all of these releases will launch simultaneously. So the game will launch on PC, PlayStation, and iOS and Android all at the same time, and will feature cross-play. So if you're playing on your PlayStation and you want to continue your gameplay while you're like in your car riding somewhere or in an Uber or something like that, you absolutely can. So that is really good to know. Netmarble also announced today that closed beta signups are available on their official website. So if you want to check out the game, play a little bit of it before the full release later this year, you're absolutely welcome to do that. They have not stated when the closed beta will be exactly yet, or what all the details of the closed beta will be. For instance, I don't know how long the closed beta will be able to be played, what regions will be able to play it for how long, how they'll determine who will be in the closed beta, all that stuff. Announcement is expected about that soon, so if that interests you, stay tuned for that. Also note that the 7 Deadly Sins Origin will be showcased at Tokyo Game Show in September, so if you want to see more from this game, you will not have to wait that long. So that wraps up our video on the 7 Deadly Sins Origin. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I absolutely love the art style of this game. It's probably my favorite thing about it, other than the open world exploration nature, which is really cathartic. The older I get, the more I like to just dink around in open world environments and kind of go at my own pace. And I watch a lot of anime in my free time. I live in Asia, so it's kind of expected of me at this point, but I do really love anime, so the art style really appeals to me, and I really enjoy that. Again, big shout out to Netmarble for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to support the channel, you can use our link below, and make sure you go sign up for the closed beta if you want, and see if you can play the game early and find out more about it. What do you guys make of the 7 Deadly Sins Origin? Is this an anime you watch? Are you guys fans of this type of game? Let me know in the comments below.
We'll be right back.